We should be live, just FYI, so let's see on the other screen.
I think we are. Yes, we are live. I can hear you.
Nice.
I think everyone else can hear you too, so it's all good.
And can you hear
Let's
yourself
just
as well?
wait. Yes, I can, so it's all good. Let me just open Discord here. Okay. Let's just wait
Yeah, let's give it
a few moments. People
We're
to
a bit
join
early,
in.
to be honest.
Yeah, we have the most unscheduled streaming schedule ever.
We were so prepared that we needed CPI as like a reason to stream.
Yeah. Okay, so someone already saying that your sound is too low. We haven't even started yet.
Fuck that. I think you're just a bit louder, that's it.
To be fair, I also hear you kind of low on Discord as well.
Okay. How
Like,
about
I hear
if
you
I
fine,
do this?
but I think it's fine. Like, I listened on YouTube and it's fine. Should be alright. Okay, we can start. I think we have a we have a CPI in 5 minutes or 15 minutes.
15. Come on, Adam.
15. Okay. So we can talk about some of the things before that. Hi everyone, welcome to the next stream. Before we jump into things, as always, the streams are sponsored by Woo. If you want to support us, you can use the first link in the description. You will get a bunch of benefits which you see at the bottom of the screen after you open the first trade on your new account on Woo. So with all that being said, we can jump into things. I think we can talk about BTC a little bit. Seems like I puked my longs yesterday at the pick up bottom.
Thanks for
which isn't yeah, seems nice. Yeah, I don't know. To be fair, like I usually try to have some sort of bias or whatever, especially coming to the stream. So we have something to talk about. It's a bit tough for me today, or overall. I kind of the recap of my trading in last month. Basically, I got long at 56. Got out at around 64, I think, and basically kind of relonged to this 60 area, which we tested like a week ago, basically when we were streaming, I think, and we kind of talked about it, and I mentioned the long that I took. Ever since then, we had a pretty nice move from the area, but Monday was kind of a end of it. We basically reversed from Monday, trading back to kind of my entry point. So yeah, I cut my longs. I don't know. To be fair, I do not really plan to re-enter unless we get some sort of like a insanely strong CPI, and probably like I would maybe rebuy above like 62k if the level basically where that kind of a sharp selling started yesterday, which like if we manage to get above it, then I would consider to go long again. But as things are looking to me right now, and with like everything that is happening in crypto, obviously I already got called Europur and all of the nice things for being a little bit more bearish. But yeah, the fact that overall like BTC is kind of struggling. All the majors, to be fair, like I looked at some of the altcoins yesterday as well. I think there are very few things like Phantom, for example, is kind of up to date, but like overall, and Sui is still holding pretty strong. But like overall, we had like a decent sell-off in the altcoins as well in the last couple of but in the last week, to be fair, from like the start of the month, the stuff that was kind of strong, and even Solana, which is kind of interesting to me.
Do you want me to pull
Um,
up a USD or BTC pair?
uh, I think USD, I don't really look at BTC pair, but yeah, the Phantom is still kind of holding up. I see it being shilled a lot. With the Sonic upgrade or whatever the name of that is. Yeah, but Solana is, I don't know, like in my head for whatever reason, I feel every time there is this like a huge meme coin season, the Solana should kind of benefit from it a lot because like it should create some sort of buying pressure for Sol. It's just not being the case, like Solana to be fair looking pretty much the same as BTC. When considering the range it's been since start of the year, since March. Obviously, the range is a little bit more violent because it's less liquid, but it doesn't really looking that great. And to be fair, even like the bigger meme coins, like if you're gonna look at Whiff is doing pretty good,
Really?
but
Within 5 minutes of the stream, we're already at with.
but like I don't know, like some like Shape Pepe and all these kind of like a really big liquid coin meme coins, they are kind of struggling. So Popcat and Whiff are kind of the two that are looking somewhat decent.
I
But
think.
yeah, I'm very sorry.
Yeah, well, maybe just because it's kind of relevant, I think, with the soul weakness, quote unquote, is because what I've seen out of meme coins, not that I pay that much attention, but they're like EVE based meme coins. So the things that it was were
Yeah,
meme
that's
coins
that's
on
that's
EVE.
fair.
I mean,
Yeah.
within last 5 days. I mean, since we last streamed.
Yeah, the SPX 66900. Yeah, it's actually on ETH. Um, that's true, and there has been some other coins on it as well.
Murad is gonna
Which
single-handedly save Ethereum.
yeah, for sure. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. Like I said, ever since, and I posted this on Twitter, the CoinAlyze chart, which is actually pretty interesting metric, which I was looking at yesterday. This kind of a situation where
Mm-hmm.
we have a higher kind of a inflow of open interest, like on a global scale into altcoins, and BTC OI kind of stagnates or goes lower. Throughout this range, it was basically the kind of a top or like reversal. You need to go to
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
CoinAlyze.
yeah,
It's not
yeah.
on
I know, I know.
below. Um, so so yeah, that's pretty interesting thing to
What is
look
the
at.
what
Like I
is
said,
the what is the coinalize.net or?
s- you're gonna open some
Yeah, exactly.
insane porn website.
It's a GoDaddy.
I
I
don't know.
mean,
It's
fuck it. Okay.
yeah, it's coinalize.net. Yeah. So and then in the
Yeah,
like
yeah.
a global
Global.
charts
Yeah,
up
yeah.
top.
I
Yeah,
know.
yeah. So yeah, my view on market at the moment is a little bit unsure. Like I said, and I haven't been really trading stuff outside of BTC and Sol in the last month or so. So you can get rid of ETH. That's obviously like a pointless to be there. But like if you really look at the peaks on the OI on the others or the altcoins,
Mm-hmm.
you will kind of and then plot them into the chart. Actually, it's pretty interesting thing to look at. Um, and also, it kind of makes sense because, like, if you have so much leverage on altcoins, and obviously if BTC decides to kind of pull back, then you have like a huge pukes of
I mean,
the OI, and
even the volume is kind of telling, right? You have
yeah,
others OI
yeah,
is just bigger than EVE in last 24
yeah,
hours.
yeah. That's true. You can also yeah, and you can also see the dominance by volume. That's gonna be pretty interesting.
What the fuck?
Chart to compare as well. Yeah, yeah. And this is only like centralized exchange coins. This is not on chain. I think like I don't know how many exchanges are on CoinLise, but
Yeah, almost
yeah,
all of them.
yeah.
Fucking hell.
So this is pretty interesting. Like I said, I don't really have a bias. I always try to kind of have a bias, but also the things that I look at, we kind of lost the spot premium a little bit in the last few days, basically on during the Monday. I think for the first time that we didn't have this kind of Coinbase premium. The order books, which I think you cannot really open here, but I can see them here. There's really nothing to look at, to be fair. They are pretty flat around the baseline, the delta. Overall, on the exchanges, is pretty much flat. So yeah, I'm going to be pretty boring today. Like I said, I don't really have much of a bias. From like a simple price action point of view, I would, like I said, above 62K, if we're going to kind of engulf or reclaim the sell-off that we have made yesterday. On hourly, you can see that basically kind of a consolidation that broke
Yeah, yeah, I
down.
see.
I would most likely consider it to be, either cucked and close the bottom, and would probably just jump back in, um, or look lower. But yeah, I don't know. Like it's and obviously we kind of keep telling this because like the range is just dragging and it's exhausting to kind of going the back and forth. But yeah, I would really love to see this kind of resolve. Um, I would see that kind of resolve soon. So, yeah, that's basically my take on BTC. Some other stuff, Sol, ETH, they're looking pretty much similar. So we don't really need to we don't need to talk about these that much. So yeah, I think Runner can maybe come up with something more interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I'm fully agree with you. We had that little red box. I mean, little. It's like 5% wide on Bitcoin. I know you asked me to move it lower, but it's like oscillator. I don't even have volume profile here, but I'm pretty sure that's like the
Yeah.
middle point of the middle point. While TradFi is just not like making new all time highs still, which it's just classic crypto. But also every
Yeah,
time.
that's kind of the point that like S&P, trading basically making new all-time highs. Made the new one yesterday. It seems pretty insane. Because like gold is also doing quite well. Gold sold off a little bit in the last few days, but yeah, like the fact that the indices, especially S&P, to be fair, but also the Dow and Nasdaq is also pretty good, looking pretty good, are continuing to go higher while BTC really just struggles. It's kind of you know concerning, and especially like I think the correction in the indices is gonna come. Obviously, this has been just kind of up only, but you can see like on S&P, for example, if you're just gonna look at the higher time frame charts, when we have these kind of corrections, when this thing corrects like 5 to 10% usually, these are very kind of sharp, and like you have just basically like a huge sell-off within a week or so, and then it starts to kind of grind back up. So I think that it's kind of likely that the correlation basically gonna come back when once indices start to actually sell off, as it usually does with crypto. So yeah, no, our little Ponzi market is not that interesting to me at the moment.
Yeah, no, I mean the strength. This chart is. I know this is not a great chart. This is US 500, but like this doesn't have the whole history. But basically, this chart is up on quite literally up only.
Yeah,
It's actually
yeah,
interesting because I have the my favorite macro chart. Like obviously, Bitcoin is still outperforming from like whatever as much as this time frame will allow me. But if you look at since Bitcoin went sideways, which is let's say April or March, right? We've been sideways on BTC for 240 days now.
yeah.
And like if you look, it's actually pretty insane. So I have it here since like March 10th.
Yeah.
And
The
you can
indices
see it
at
on the
least like
screen. It's like holy
continue.
shit, man.
Yeah, yeah. You
But
you
it's
have
funny
this kind of
the
a trend continue.
the downturns are definitely there.
Yeah, the downturns usually are very kind of, and it's pretty much the same for crypto as well. But you can see that even the correlation of the downturns is basically kind of a popping back in. The downtrend, the uptrend is not there, but when there is a correlation, usually they kind of solve together. But yeah, like obviously BTC is up more percentage wise, but also the kind of a liquidity and everything in the indices is a bit different. So
1 minute,
yeah,
1 minute. Sorry to
that kind of
interrupt you. This
sucks.
is this is why we're here, brother. We are
Oh
here.
yeah, we have a
Countdown.
countdown.
So,
We
forecast
should
zero
have
point
been like
zero.
these Korean streamers who just like live stream the positions and just making huge reactions.
Okay, boys. Boys, I don't know
Yeah.
what the fuck.
Mhm.
But what I like about Velo, the data should pop up like as like a pop up here in the corner. So
Yeah.
let's see if it does.
Yeah.
But
But you have the
forecasting
stream delay,
0.1.
so 0.1.
I think it's like it's
I
resetting.
haven't.
It should be
Yeah.
pretty okay with the delay.
It
No?
should be pretty fine. Yeah. I don't know. It's been such a long time. Like I know that you still kind of day trade and
No,
trade short
no.
time frames, but it's
Okay, in
sometimes.
we
But
are holy shit classic.
I haven't been day trading or trading lower time frames for such a long time. At this point, like it's like I haven't looked at the lower time frames yet. But we are selling, so the
So we are gonna quit the stream.
was the
Thanks
actual
for watching. No, it's
yeah, no,
actually
it's gonna
pretty
sell
nothing
off then
burger.
bounce.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It's, like they still, I would say, kind of influence the thread file a little bit more. Crypto is in really like overall but a weird spot.
Yeah.
I feel like the CPI and the NFP and FOMC, like if you look at it like forex pairs, obviously I know this is like a very thing that people like don't really trade here, but like like the volatility on the release in something like euro or like whatever kind of currency is like basically much bigger than BTC. But yeah, if the actual estimate, yeah, it's pretty
Total
like
nothing
the
burger.
news. Yeah, like the news at the end of the day, because obviously these numbers are from last month, so it's kind of just like priced in my opinion, and the news and every news, unless it's like some insane surprise, it's just like a intraday short-term volatility, but nothing really
But
too
also,
that crazy.
I
Like
wanna mention that even though now on the data release it's been now a full 90 seconds, so maybe it's too early to speak. But often when not that much happens on the time of release, you would have like some volatility during U.S. sessions. So I would not like be making directional bets now before U.S. Open.
yeah, that's true. So yeah, BTC. I like I said, I don't really have much of a bias here. I don't think, unless like I said, unless we start popping above 62K, and I've been, I'm almost like feeling like a perma bull at this point because I haven't been really shorting all that much, which to be fair, like the indicators I share when I share my screen during the streams are still kind of pointing into this kind of a middle, uh, more of a bullish side. The spot premium is still kind of there. The overall leverage, the OI on BTC, like the running OI that I look at, it's pretty low as well. The order books are also has been also kind of a kind of a set to the bid side. So yeah, I really feel like I'm really lacking on a kind of a short side of the trade, but I just haven't had many signals, and I really try to kind of follow this more of a systematic approach when it comes to things. So
Unlike
so
me,
yeah,
just
not.
martingale BTC long.
Yeah, so basically, I think the overall there's quite a bit of anticipation of the elections, which are basically coming in 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Um, I actually read, and unfortunately I'm not going to find this, but I have read pretty interesting study somewhere that usually the year before the elections, for obviously for S&P, not for BTC, but the gains or like the percentage increase is actually higher in a year before the election than the actual election year, which is kind of interesting because obviously everyone is super anticipating, the Trump winning, and he's gonna just scream buy Bitcoin type of thing. But when it comes to at least stock market, the kind of the higher gains come from a year before the elections instead of the overall
I do
elections.
not your arguments do not support my bias. Therefore, I'm disconnecting from. No, I think
What
what we
is kind of
do all is like falling in love with these. I mean, that's like just like alt and in quotation marks. It's like altcoin fundamentals. It's like you just think would be the reason why it goes up, so you can make money rather than actually caring about it being true.
yeah, like for TradFi at least for S&P, and this is kind of a well-known thing as well, is seasonality. I think the seasonality for S&P is actually much more important than for Bitcoin. But yeah, the seasonality for like risk on markets for S&P, Nasdaq, all of the other things is basically the best from like a October till end of the year. So that's kind of playing into this risk on scenario. Obviously, people screaming October
But
didn't
all these fucking
didn't really
morons, right?
work
Like,
out. Mhm.
pardon my French, but it's
Yeah, I
actually
think like
embarrassing.
I think I should flex my tweet. I think I posted in summer about me thinking that seasonality in crypto is a bit kind of lame because you have a 10 years of data and the first 5 years people just used to buy drugs online with BTC. I think like overall, and I don't want to blast Salsa, but I read his tweet yesterday how he like lost quite a bit of money trading in the last few months, and someone actually asked him if it's because like if he's been kind of losing since the Bitcoin ETF came in January, and he said that yes, which is kind of interesting to me because it's like kind of makes sense like the market is kind of a maturing and changing. So I think like this is very different market compared to 2021 even or 2017 or whatever. So uh, it felt to me pretty stupid that people put so much emphasis into the seasonality on this type of market, which basically just doesn't have that much history. You need at least like for TradFi, people tend to look like 10, 15 years, but obviously, gold and some commodities and like stuff like oil and oil didn't really change in last 15 years, which Bitcoin definitely did. But yeah, like the whole seasonality prediction basically for BTC was like completely wrong
But
because
it's
people were
always
basically
wrong.
calling for
It's always
usually
wrong.
yeah because like basically like I even saw some people like still trying to kind of collect the cloud although the seasonality for BTC was basically the September being like a down month and then
We had the
October
best
starts
month
as
of
like
like a
a
year.
yeah, and then the October is like the start of this like an insane huge rally type of situation. Obviously it's 10th of October so we still have plenty of time, but yeah, so far this has been basically completely wrong.
But also, what is interesting right now is like the seasonality is just basically getting likes on Twitter. And since I haven't
Yeah.
uploaded my ID to Twitter, I'll just stop posting these shitty. Like Elon can keep his $100 every 2 weeks. It's fine. But jokes aside, like it's actually pretty insane. I know you don't really use them, but like if I pulled up the daily moving averages, they're the most compressed.
Yeah,
I have seen them probably since I started trading. Like
yeah.
from lower,
Like
yeah,
this is definitely going to resolve into the big
soon, right?
move. The issue with this is yeah, like soon. Yeah. Soon can be, several months from now basically. It's like and if we take a look at BTC, like it's really compressed a lot. Like uh, people have this like a huge trending scenario in head when it comes to crypto or especially or BTC at least. Like Bitcoin is compressed quite a bit, and at least this range, this range was from 73K all the way down to 50. So like this range was at least like volatile. But I do remember like in 2023, 2022, when like if you take a look from like June 23 until August, and then basically until like mid-October when we started the rally, all the way towards the new all-time high.
Mm-hmm.
Like there was one day in August 17 when we had like a big sell-off, but other than that, Bitcoin was trading in like a 2K range basically. So, and this is like if you just disregard that one big sell-off day and the kind of pump that it came to it, like
It
from March until October last year, basically Bitcoin
was
was
the
trading around
same.
27K.
It's actually very
Yeah,
similar.
and it was trading around 27K, and like the actual like volatility or like the price change was like within few thousand of dollars. So at least like this range, like I picked up the long, the long that I picked up in September. I took it from 56 to 64K. So like that's at least like a decent move. Like it did. Like you can actually have a nice swing trade on it, but if when BTC was moving in like 2K range, it was pretty tedious to trade. So
And
I still think this is not
oh,
that bad, but at the same time, yeah, I think it definitely should resolve soon for all our sakes.
I also want to show like the concept of journaling your own emotions. I know it sounds like pretty gay, but like I've done it. I've done it quite a lot since 2021. Like when you have, as you said, right, like 2 months of literally nothing, and it was actually fairly similar to what we have right now, like on timeline at least. People fighting
Yeah.
over absolutely zero, like nothing, right? People saying, "Oh, Murad this, Murad that." Who gives a fuck? Like it's completely pointless arguments. And I would highly encourage, if you're bored and you haven't lost all your chips yet, then like how do you feel basically last 220 days? Because I'm unfortunately we don't have the data, but I'm very confident a lot of people lost a lot of money, even though prices did
Yeah,
nothing, right? Chop.
and the market can keep ranging longer than you can remain solvent,
Solvent.
basically, type of situation. Yeah. So yeah, someone mentioned this in the comments as well. Yeah, the Trump, the elections, might be the accelerator. Obviously, yeah, people are kind of basically betting on the fact that if Trump is going to win, BTC is going to 200K. If he's going to lose, BTC is going to zero, which I don't think is going to be as straightforward as that. A lot of these things are already priced in my opinion. Um, Especially, when you have like these big geopolitical, like this is not a some small mid-sized, altcoin narrative where your competition is, pretty simple, but like with these big events, things tend to be a little bit more kind of complicated and crowded, like super crowded to be fair. Like everyone is going to trade, S&P, everyone is going to trade Bitcoin into the elections, and so yeah, I think it's good. Like in my opinion, it usually is with these like a highly anticipated news, the actual kind of a move is going to be way less than people are
Underwhelming.
expecting. At least this is, yeah, the
It's
way
like
more
every
underwhelming.
sex experience ever.
Yeah, basically. Because like there were obviously some situations, and once again I'm going to be talking about my boomer market experience, which I know no one cares about literally. But like when you had like a Brexit, this was back in 2016, I believe, there was like a huge move in the British pound, but like that's because obviously that's like a kind of a big deal for and was pretty unexpected, I think, at the time as well. But I don't think this is like such a big kind of polarizing difference in elections. It's not like if Kamala is going to win, the whole crypto is going to get banned and people are gonna get shot on sight if they have a Coinbase in their phone type of situation. So, and like
Great, our
you can
Coinbase
also
partnership is over.
and you can also argue that the like Trump launching some like a DeFi yield thing on I
Yeah,
don't even know
on Aave.
where. Yeah, like how bullish is that? But yeah, that's obviously kind of whatever. So someone asking about the journal, that's actually a good question. I'm sure Runner is using Coin Market Manager.
But I think
Yeah.
also there's difference. Like I do not put in CMM. I was so sad because price went sideways. That would be something I would put on paper. I would be a bit embarrassed if somebody from the CMM database could. CMM for trades, but like
Yeah.
paper. Oh shit.
Yeah, so yeah, I'm using Edgewonk personally, for those that you care. Especially now since I trade very little, I don't take the many trades. I'm journaling stuff manually and trade both legacy and crypto, so I kind of like the process in Edgewonk. I've been using it forever. Um, so yeah, that's kind of my thoughts. So BTC, yeah, has been doing kind of nothing. The CPI was
I think we'll get some
underwhelming.
vol about around US Open and Power Hour.
Yeah, yes, open in the 45 minutes. Um, so yeah, I believe, covered that. We can have maybe look at some of the altcoins, although I don't really
Let's
think
do
it's
this.
that
Let's do this. If somebody wants any chart or ticker reviewed, put it in, and I have few fireside questions for you. So Adam, have you seen the HBO documentary?
I haven't. But my friend sent me that the Czech Republic was mentioned actually,
Really?
or I don't know why. Yeah, yeah, but there is like a part of it in Czech Republic. So,
It's
but
actually
I'm not going to
interesting
watch it.
because, like a lot of the fun random fact, a lot of the Bitcoin OG developers are based in or
Yeah, yeah,
they
like the
kind of
whole
parallel in Polish.
Trezor.
Yeah,
Is
and
it
then
is it yeah, the whole
okay.
the whole Trezor team is basically Czech people, so yeah, Czech Republic is
One
kind of a
XRP ETF from Canary Islands.
yeah, that's kind of funny. I haven't seen XRP chart,
No, but
yeah,
it is.
which
I think it's
looks
actually a
like
relevant example because if this was like we're talking about how the market is fucking dead, and I think this is the best example I can do, right? Because if we're in if this was February 2024, XRP would do like 40% candle. I'm pretty confident of that.
yeah,
While when did they post it? It was October 8th. Like XRP went down on the news,
yeah.
or sideways.
That's true. Yeah, yeah. Like if you just like look at the daily chart and zoom out, like it's insane how kind of a nothing burger it was overall. Um, let me see. We have a very passionate request to look at Sui, so we can do
Jesus,
that.
oh yeah, dude, I see a lot of sui. Sui!
Uh, from the chart that I'm looking at, which is a spot chart actually for whatever reason, it's almost took out the all-time highs from April. Is it? Yeah, I think it's yeah, yeah. It's basically kind of reversed. Um, I think to be fair that like I'm not sure if like there are basically two scenarios, which one is it's just going to like this is it and it's just going to rip to new all-time highs, which is pretty strong signal. The second option would be that it just starts to kind of consolidating before next move to the all-time high. Um, I don't know, like I wouldn't short this here, but at the same time, I'm not sure if I would just simply buy it and hope for the kind of best. So yeah, it really depends on your position. It's still kind of on lower time frames, like holding some sort of market structure. Like you can see now it's kind of retesting that little bit of consolidation. So I don't think it's like a looking that bad. But yeah, it's obviously super extended over the last month
But
or
this
so at
H4
the same
looks
time.
very like Picasso couldn't make. It's like such a. Those steps are beautiful, which is not a good or bad
Yeah,
thing. It's
yeah.
just like the pattern of the chart is.
Yeah, like you can see on that H4 move, like someone literally just walked this chart towards the new highs.
Yeah.
The kind of the last push, like we had like fucking like 10 green candles in a row basically. So obviously this is that kind of a area you want to see to hold. I believe, yeah, there was some, yeah, like that open interest increase as well, although not crazy, but you can see that before, like if you're gonna look at like to the left to like October, like end of September, like we had that. You don't need to just show both candlesticks and the chart, the OI and the candlestick chart.
Yeah.
Yeah, like when we had that at the end of the September, basically when we had that kind of a push in the OI and market, jumped from it. Like we never really traded underneath that. So this is like a pretty good, sign of strength basically when like someone really steps in and buys a lot, like you want to see that kind of entry price to hold. And like although I went a little lower, we kind of, we the price held it. So this is pretty similar now. Like the last push had also decent OI increase, so you kind of want to see that hold if you are long
Somebody
at
asking
least.
if you're fully
So
sidelined. No, I have fuck ton of BTC.
yeah,
And by fuck ton, I mean actually fuck ton. So,
runner is BTC Maxi. I have some. I talked about this quite a few times. Like I hold the boring BTC, Eden Sol, and maybe like I maybe have some other coins on some wallets, but it's mostly for me like a anti being too mad if these things actually kind of rallies to infinity type of situation. So yeah, I always have a little bit of a spot, but I mostly trade perps, and I'm actually flat right now. So yeah, not really, not I'm not a most of bigger spot and chill uh type
but
person.
I think I kind of feel like what the person is trying to say. We trade mostly Bitcoin. We don't really fuck around in meme coin trenches. God bless, we escaped that level of net worth a few years ago.
So, what else? Yeah, someone is asking to chart Trump, which
No, sorry.
um, Say was also mentioned. I think this is looking much weaker for some reason.
Say
In my
really?
head,
Ah yes, yes.
Say and Sui has to be immediately like correlated, and kind of because they have the same name, but yeah, Say is looking pretty weak, I think. Yeah, you have that big box, like underneath that box, I think it's going to much lower.
But this is the
Also, I
classic
believe,
CTKOL cluster, like you have a
yeah,
ten
I
percent
think
box
that there
every
were
week.
some unlocks. There were like some big unlocks in Say, or they already happened
I'm
maybe in
pretty sure it
summer.
was Sui.
Um, Yeah, it's possible. I know that like I feel like like we had this small kind of a meta of like VC coins rallying, which happened, around like mid-September. Uh, Kind of got overshadowed.
By memes.
All got overshadowed by memes at this point. But like, I don't know. It was kind of funny because it was around the time when a bunch of unlocks were happening
Yeah.
as well. So maybe kind of like a good old, exit scam pump into the unlocks. Like I think a lot of these things, and there is like a big because for me, and I was never the biggest altcoin trader, to be fair. I'm not going to pretend that I was. But like for me, I always saw like crypto is like a very correlated market in total. Like, like if altcoins go down, 90%, uh, basically all of them must go. But now I feel like there's like a huge difference in the strength across different coins. So like you really need to be like if you trade alts actively, and especially if you want to like hold them for a while, you need to be like super kind of careful of the things that you are trading because like like if you're gonna you can look at Sui and then you can look at Safe, for example. It's like a two different charts basically. So yeah, Apto's also doing pretty well, I think. We talked about Aptos
Yeah.
last week as well, I think.
I think
Yeah,
this
it,
looks
it
kind of
it
like
didn't
say.
really. Yeah, kinda. But I think it this kind of a consolidation. We basically this kind of a level that it's testing right now. It is like should hold if it's really strong. Um, yeah.
Yeah, I don't see that much.
Yeah, I think like with altcoins, to be fair, like when I would like trade some of these, like I would love to see at least some sort of narrative coming for them because like if not, then at the end of the day, like you're just trading BTC correlation. Like if Bitcoin is going to, dump sub 60K,
Yeah.
I'm not sure if
You're
Aptos is
shit
going
out
to
of
hold the
luck.
level. But at the same time, if BTC is going to rally from here. I'm pretty sure Aptos is going to hold the level. So yeah, it's a bit tricky, you know, like it's just a BTC thing for a large part. So yeah, meme coins, Bowden, yeah.
No, 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 no. I know the guy is just
Is
trolling
he
anyway. So
is he even alive at this point? I haven't seen him like in like a public whatever.
no, sorry.
No, no.
But
Yeah.
like
So
I actually would personally, even though I'm long quite a decent size now, BTC or like for CD standards, I would love this market to just roll over, and just completely wash out all the meme coin retardation again. Because remember the whole Donald fighting with crowd in like March?
yeah,
I feel like it's gotten 20 times worse. Like the main story on the timeline last few days is Zach XBT versus Murat Defendors, right? And it's like, what the fuck are we doing here? Like that's why this market is just
yeah.
dying, because everybody's focusing and putting money into absolute dog shit. And it's not that meme coins are like all that bad, but if meme coins are doing most of the volume, then BTC is for sure not moving anywhere. But if Bitcoin dumps, all the garbage goes to zero. So you're shit out of luck.
Yeah, it's funny. I don't follow that many people, and I feel like I don't follow especially many people who like trade meme coins, except like Ansem and maybe a few others. So I'm kind of like out of it for the most part. Like I was following Murat for a while, a couple months ago, and then I kind of realized that this is not something that I really care about. But yeah, it's insane. Like I look at some of these comments, and I saw the thread from Zach and everything, and yeah, it's just like people are really crazy about these, and the kind of a cult personalities with these meme coins is pretty insane. But at the same time, like at the same time, it's just I like and you said it as well. I don't think like all meme coins are just bad. My issue, to be fair, and my kind of like a only issue why I do not trade these like more frequently is that I just don't really have an edge in the new coins. Uh, like I look at some sort of data. The data has to be like I need to have some sort of like a reference points and some sort of like see stuff like open interest, and like if spot is buying, obviously these coins are not listed on like a big exchanges, and yeah, so I just feel like for me, like, and I traded and I bought some of I actually made like my track record this year is actually pretty good on meme coins. I bought like I think like three of them, which like super randomly I just saw on Twitter or whatever, and they like every time they did quite well. But yeah, I'm not going to kind of kid myself like it was nothing but a gamble. To be fair, like I had no edge basically there, so yeah, that's my reason for not trading meme coins. Like, but at the same time, like stuff like Pepe, stuff like even with now, like with has decent history and volume and market cap and everything. Like I'm all for trading these because they are just like more established coins that like I would much rather trade with or Popcat now rather than like stuff like Optimism or Arbitrum, for example, which are like let's be fair, like they're just dead.
Have you seen our BTC chart? Holy
I actually
fuck!
I have a yeah I haven't, but I saw RBUSDT chart like the other day. This is just like
Holy
that over.
fuck!
Yeah,
So
yeah,
from
and the
1 second. Oh Jesus Christ!
And the worst thing about these is that you cannot even short this because like it's get like so illiquid and so bad that like like you can be 100% sure like sooner or later you'll just get this kind of like a super illiquid liquidation type pump before it's going to resume lower. So like if this is going to happen, but yeah, like this looks brutal, and I think like optimism is looking very similar at the same time. Like Polygon, they tried this whole new token thing. It's completely dead. Like it's basically trading at the listing price. So yeah, like
Oh my
I'm
god.
not all I'm like all for trading meme coins, which are actually listed on exchanges rather than some of these things. So
Yeah, I mean, essentially, right? Like we shit on a lot of things, but effectively, if you have the time and if you have the edge, you trade something that's volatile. Reality is Bitcoin hasn't been that volatile, so I think meme coins has been the only, destination that you can punt and have fun.
yeah.
So that in that regard, I obviously understand. It's just not something I'm gonna. I would literally rather book another holiday than trade anything
Can
on
you tell
chain.
me why is Uniswap up 12% today?
I don't know. Let's refresh the block. I mean, we've been streaming, right? So
Yeah. No, it's been up like since the morning, but yeah, I was just wondering if there are some sort of news or whatever
we
because
can check bread
yeah,
and butter, but I really don't know.
because memes on ETH. Yeah, that's kind of makes sense to be fair. Yeah,
Sure,
lot
sure. I
lot of
mean, it's
memes.
20% since the
Yeah,
whole Murad drama.
yeah,
But also,
yeah.
like, okay, it's actually not. It looks fucking horrible, but still not as bad as Arbitrum, right? So
Yeah. Pretty interesting. Yeah. Yeah. So I think we covered plenty of things. We don't really have many more requests for coins.
I mean, it's the
And
same
also
coins,
there's like
right?
no.
Sui, Tao, meme coins.
Yeah, it doesn't really change that much to be fair. Like you when I mentioned this last week, like you can really make a list of like 10, 15, maybe 20 coins, which has been, doing well this year and has like a big mind share. And just keep trading these and you are not going to miss on anything basically, I think, for like the next foreseeable future. Um, so yeah, with all of that being said, thank you guys for tuning in. We are going to be live again in a week or so. And until then, make sure to check out Woo, the first link in the description if you want to support us. And thank you, Woo, for sponsoring us on these streams. And yeah, with all that being said, thank you guys for tuning in, and we will see you next week. Bye.